those charges, those bogus charges, be dropped against them. And I mean, looking at common sense, even if Dr. Kizza Besigye and his colleague were found with guns in Kenya, how does that become a monopoly? How do those guns become a monopoly or even the business of the Ugandan military? We are aware that these charges in the court martial are meant to intimidate, coerce, and ultimately subdue the people of Uganda and their leaders to stop them from challenging the corrupt system, the corrupt criminal regime of General Museveni. We are here to say to General Museveni that no amount of coercion, no amount of oppression, no amount of impunity will stop the people of Uganda from seeking better. And yes, no amount of intimidation will stop us from offering leadership to these people until we get to a country that we want to live in. Friends, so many dictators have done exactly, or even worse, to their people like Museveni has done to the people of Uganda. But history has taught us that they ultimately come crumbling down when people don't give up. From the dictators that we've seen in history, and yesterday it was Assad of Syria who has oppressed the people of Syria, him and his family, for more than 50 years. They came crumbling down yesterday. So yesterday Assad in Syria, and hopefully tomorrow it will be Museveni in Uganda. We ask the people of Uganda never to give up on hope, to keep fighting for what they rightly deserve, for keep pushing for liberation, because there's no doubt that their freedom is very soon coming. I want to thank you all for listening to me and request other colleague leaders to also give their comments. So it's my humble pleasure to invite you, General Mugisha Muntu, to kindly come and give your remarks. Thank you very much.
Half of our national coordinator, Honorable Salaso, and half of all the colleagues in Alliance for National Transformation, we've come to join the stand with the rest of the opposition parties, stand in solidarity with Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haji Mutare, were abducted in Kenya and have been arraigned before the military courts. Our demands are that Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haji Mutare be tried in the civil courts, because both are civilians. I would like also to talk about another aspect. We should make every Ugandan concerned about this particular case. It's not every day that governments go and abduct their citizens from other countries, also neighboring countries. One would have to look behind the mindsets of those who are conducting such an operation, where a government goes and abducts its citizens from another country and does not go through the established channels through which, when a person is arrested in a different country, processes are in place, are established, legal as well as diplomatic. That never happened. They were abducted on Saturday, and by Sunday, they were in Makinde, taken through both borders, the Kenyan border and the Ugandan border, the official borders. So what would be the mindset of those who are conducting such an operation? Considering the consequences of that. Kenya itself, I saw a few days back a public servant representing the Ministry of Foreign Affairs trying to explain this question, because there are so many questions in Kenya itself. And I saw him almost speaking Greek, because he was not able to come out openly to say whether the Kenyan government was behind it or not. That wouldn't be facing the Kenyan government right now if those who are conducting the operation from this side were not operating from the mindset in which they are operating. We don't have information as why they would do that first and foremost, when they clearly knew that Dr. Chizabesje has been going out of the country and he comes back. They were clearly aware that he would be back, that they would not wait, even if they had any case to put against him, to arrest him when in Uganda, should be a concern of all Ugandans. Why so? Because it would clearly mean that, one, either those who conducted this operation were in panic for whatever reason, one wouldn't understand. Two, that at their subconscious level, they have given up on the image of their government, that they no longer care about protecting image, because basically maybe they think in their minds that they no longer have anything to protect in terms of image. You don't do that. As you can see, the attraction this case has raised, regionally, continentally, and internationally. What government will not care about its image when there are consequences of that nature? Unless in the subconscious level, they have given up on image. They no longer believe that they got an image to protect. Three, or those who are conducted the operation are inept, that they have no capability to weigh when they are conducting or planning operations of that nature, to balance a number of issues before they make a decision of that nature. Or four, they are so reckless that they don't care about what happens. Now, in case it is any of those four, or a combination of them, that should make all of us worried as Ugandans. Because the management of security forces is key in the stability of the country. So if it is because of recklessness or ineptness, it should be a cause for concern for all of us, including those who are in the regime. Because we have got people who handle issues of that nature, to handle them the way they handle the matter. Even those who are senior in government, political as well as military, should think deeply on this particular issue. So we are happy and we thank you, the leader of opposition and the members of parliament who are here with you for hosting us this day. We should not let this matter rest. We are glad that there are regional interest, a number of political actors in this whole of East Africa, and they're raising pressure all around. I'd like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and also the members of the press for covering us today. Let me take this opportunity, therefore, to invite Honorable and former leader of opposition, Honorable Fula Okutu. Thank you.
May I please come and address the media on behalf of PFF.
The principals of various political entities here, our host here, the leader of opposition, honorable members of parliament present here, members of the US, all the dignitaries, First of all, I would like to correct the impression here. I wasn't invited as the road mayor here. Yes, I hold that title. I'm proud of it, but I'm not here as the road mayor of Kampala. I am here as the acting president of the FDC, sitting at Katonga, now in transit to PFF. So I would like that to be duly organized. Because we had a delegates conference that convened at Katonga, and I was duly elected. And we have an institution we are running there. We are in the process of morphing into PFF. So I headed a delegation here comprising of Honorable Waf here, Honorable Makando here, and also Honorable Doreen Nyanjura here. I would like to thank the principals here of various political entities for organizing this arrangement, this forum, to jointly come out, condemn these transgressions. This is not a matter for Dr. Chiza Besigye. It's not a matter for Obedi Kamregea. It's not a matter for the NUP victims who are languishing before the General Court Martial, and of course in other ungazetted detention facilities. It's not a matter for General Muntu or any of us. It's a matter for all Ugandans. We are talking about universal human rights. We are talking about a travesty of justice, which is under our watch, superintended over by people who are supposed to take charge of the country under the existing constitutional order. The greatest concern to all of us, the Constitution right now is a mere paper tiger. And that should concern all of us. We oftentimes talk about the Constitution being the supreme law of the land, but that's no more. It's an illusory document which is taking a direction parallel to what the powers that be are doing. It's incumbent upon all of us, regardless of our political differences, different political affiliations, to rally in single file and take on the bull by the horns. And I'm glad this morning you have assembled here to make this proclamation that we stand in unison against this injustice. We thank you very, very much, all of you, the principals, for the firm stance you have taken. For the record, the General Court Martial is not a court, and I will request from our vocabulary to expand it. We should expand it from our vocabulary. It's a disciplinary committee. If you want to be civil enough, you can call it a tribunal. But it's not a court within the meaning of the law. It's a misnomer, even under the Constitution, under our laws. It's not a court of competent record. It's not a court of judicature. When we are looking at the hierarchy of courts, it's nowhere. It's like the Discipline and Rules Committee of Parliament. It's not a court. So, by continuing to call it a court, we are sanitizing it. And we give that facade of, trial being conducted by an impartial court, which is not the case. So let us call it what it is, a disciplinary committee of the military, where they are dragging civilians to subject them to martial law. And it's high time we came out together, assertively and aggressively, to say enough is enough. We have exhausted the legal processes of challenging the jurisdiction of this court, this tribunal. over civilians. We have done that before. And I would like colleagues here, without singling out individuals, at least the Honorable Medad Sekona here led us very well in the case of Kabaziguruka, where a court unequivocally pronounced itself on this matter. Unequivocally. 2021, the decision was made. The Attorney General made an appeal, which is still pending. And those of you who are interested in this ruling, which was given by Justice Owinyidoro, 2021, staying execution of that proclamation, they were very instructive directives. He said, since this is a matter of great public concern, urgent in nature, it will be fixed and disposed of expeditiously. That was way back 5th August 2021. We are now in 2024. Maybe in his diction, with all due respect, the word expeditious has acquired a new meaning. Because if up to now it has not been disposed of, and I want to tell you for the record, since then, the justices of the Supreme Court were handling, many have passed on. Justice Opiowelu died, Justice Arach died, Justice Mwonda, Faith Mwonda. Now it's just Chibita and Owinyidoro who are still there. And there is no indication as to when it's going to be disposed of. Members of Parliament who are here, Article 79 is very, very clear. It's a duty of all of you to jealously protect the Constitution, the sanctity of the Constitution, its spirit and the letter. Let us rise to the occasion, regardless of our political divide. As I conclude, the proceedings continue tomorrow. The proceedings, the impending proceedings, continue tomorrow. The worst experience you can have as a practicing advocate is to appear before that committee. We had long taken decisions never to appear there. I remember, for the record, I want to again remind those who are not aware. It's not the first time Dr. Besigye is appearing there. 2005 was there. And when we appeared with my brother here, Yusuf Nsibambi, then one of our legal counsel was bold enough, and this is what is demanded of all of us. The late Samuel Kareganju, when he looked at the whole hostile environment in that room, manned by the late General Eritumwine, he said this is a kangaroo court. He described it up till, this is a kangaroo court. Then Eritumwine, in a bullish manner, with all, may his soul rest in eternal peace, as who has said it? Who has said it? There was a deafening silence within, I don't want to call it courtroom, a room for a committee, I don't know, is it a committee room? In that committee room, there was deafening silence. Then Sam Kareganjuba boldly stood up and said, I said it. Women rolled his eyes 360 degrees. Said, he didn't know what to do about him. This is exactly what we need to do. Simply because you could not drag him to the dog, he had to pounce on the little ones. Myself and Alak. We had to pay the price. We were dragged included though, court-martialed and convicted. So I appeared before that court both as a counsel and as a convict. And look here, gentlemen, these are a very serious matter. You are having non-lawyers presiding over serious matters. The offense under section 128 of the UPDF Act, under which Obed and Besigye are charged, carries a maximum sentence of death. Death, once they are convicted. Death. Firearms Act, you know the sentence, being in possession of military hardware. These are very serious offenses. In the case of Amon Tumwebaze, of these offenses, now the charge sheet of Dr. Besigye, now it is stretching to Geneva, it is going to Greece, Kenya, where influences. Shortly after here, and members of the press, you are invited. She has a package for you. On the next phase, I think we are now going to engage in another year. We are in year number 4 or 5. I don't want to tell you the second year we are engaging. So shortly after this, I invite you at State Hall. You come because there are issues we are trying to address. There is another lawyer who has also joined us from Angola. He has also just touched and across Africa. Let's team together. Let's take the bull by the horns. Let's marshal all the efforts we have. We put an end to this insanity. Together, we must decisively deal with this madness. Otherwise, tomorrow it will be you. Finally, we have it on good record. Dr. Besigye was supposed to be killed at Riverside. This I speak on good authority, and I don't want to mince words. The assignment are given to the mercenaries. Eliminate him, execute him. It was just by the grace of the Lord, a supervening factor came in. I think by divine intervention. Yes, when you talk about one act of God, that is survived by a whisker. Only the act of doing rendition was just an afterthought. But the mission finished him from there. On another occasion, we shall furnish you with the details of the same. So on that note, I want to end here by inviting my brother here, Mayanja, General Mayanja. No, it's not a general, it's like myself. I remember in the General Court Martial when I went to stand in surety for General Sejusa, they asked me whether I'm a four-star general, and I was flushed out of that committee. So I've been asked to invite senior leader here, Honorable Kibirige Mayanja. But as he comes, leader of opposition, I take exception to the practice here. How can the Lord Mayor of the city, the leader of a political entity, be stripped of my property at the entrance there? I don't even have a copy of the Constitution. I don't have anything, even in my bag. Everything confiscated at the entrance. I don't know why. So anyway, those are the things we need to deal with. We are living in hard times. The floor is yours, Honorable Mayanja. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, especially the leader of opposition, for inviting us today for a common purpose, for a common cause. I have been already introduced, Mayanja Chibirige, and I don't need a lot of introduction. And I am from the Justice Forum. I just take this opportunity to introduce one member of the Justice Forum here, who is here. If there is any other one, you let me know. But so far, I am with the Karungi Pasmus, who is from the Justice Forum. Of course, we are here to condemn the abduction of our colleague and then being arraigned in the court martial. And that's a very, very serious issue for all of us as opposition. I'm sure none of us here is safe. So it is really our duty to come up and take joint action like this And I thank the leader of opposition for convening us in this fashion, because this is the only way we can really deliver a message that what was done was wrong, it was inhuman. Dr. Besigye was abducted in Kenya. So I'm not so much of a lawyer, but the scene of crime was in Kenya. How Uganda got the jurisdiction to go and abduct people from Kenya, the lawyers will tell us. But I think the Kenyan government also can be said to be involved, because otherwise they neglect the security of Ugandans or the security of non-Kenyans, and which puts all our lives in danger. That when you are in Kenya, anytime you can be abducted. So this case has implications on the East African community, implications on the international system of justice, and so on and so forth. But while all of that is going, we are saying that there is no reason why Dr. Besigye should be kept in prison. He should be, he should be released. He should be released. He should be tried in the civilian courts, because the lawyers have already emphasized this case. So I really don't have to say much. It is enough that we have demonstrated this solidarity when one of us is being denied justice. And I want to thank all of you for making it to this interface with the press. So I take this opportunity to invite Honorable Winnie Kiza Besigye as Honorable Winnie Kiza as the next speaker.
The leaders of the different political parties and formations that are in the room, our leader of the opposition, members of parliament, members of the press, we gather here today to condemn the manner in which our brothers, Dr. Kiza Besigye and Alhaj Abed Kamlegea, were abducted from Kenya, where they had gone on their personal and individual duties. Our elder, Dr. Mayanja Kibirige, referred to me as Honorable Winnie Kiza Besigye. I take it with dignity. Dr. Kiza Besigye is our mentor in politics. And in fact, when we were starting our political struggles, and I was named the Minister of Community Service, Gender and Community Development during the Reform Agenda time, the media said the Reform Agenda grouping lacked leaders, and Besigye decided to name his wife and positioned her in Kasese. So from that time, I was referred to as Dr. Besigye's other wife. My husband is aware of that. And where I go, they call me Winnie Kiza Besigye. I don't take offense. So I come here to join the other colleagues to condemn and stand in solidarity with Dr. Kiza Besigye, wherever he is, and Abedi Kamlegea. So sad that Ugandans can look at this matter as a matter of Dr. Besigye. Today is Dr. Besigye, tomorrow is you. And I would like to say that an attack on any member of the opposition should be looked at as an attack to all of us. We join here as leaders of different political groupings because we know that Dr. Besigye believes in the unity of the opposition. And so when we come here to join hands to condemn the act and condemn the President of the Republic of Uganda the manner in which he's dispersing the issues of this republic that is putting us in jeopardy as a country, the manner in which he has muzzled all state institutions and he thinks he is going to export this to other countries, is another issue that we should worry about. When Dr. Besigye is accused of committing atrocities in Greece, atrocities in Geneva, atrocities in Kenya, and is arraigned in a military court in Uganda, is an issue that we should worry about in terms of diplomatic missions. Because I don't know at what stage President Museveni became the president of Greece, became the president of Geneva, and now is taking over the issues of Kenya. As a country, we should get worried. This should not be a matter of Dr. Besigye. It's not a matter of only the members of the opposition. It's a matter for all of us, the citizens of Uganda. We should also be bothered that other people from other countries are getting concerned about the justice system of Uganda, and that we as citizens are at peace with ourselves. Having said this, I would like to invite all of us tomorrow to Makindi. One, to show solidarity, and then two, to send a signal that we are dissatisfied with the way citizens and non-military personnel are being arraigned in court martials. It happened to our people in the Renzoris in 2014. Citizens were arrested, arraigned in court martial, in a ground. Actually, the court was seated in a ground, and the judge was there, dancing around and about. And we knew this was an anomaly, it was an injustice, it was an illegality, but it continued. Those of us who saw it happen, we condemned it. Some citizens remained silent. Friends, it is an issue that we should all raise up to condemn, an issue that we should be preoccupied with, because it is an issue that concerns all of us. I would therefore like to call upon all of us to stand in solidarity. One, with Dr. Kizza Besigye, but two, to condemn the manner in which they were arrested. Three, to say enough is enough, the way citizens are being treated, that anybody who has a different view from that of President Museveni is looked at as a rebel, is looked at as an enemy of the state, and so it defeats the purpose for which the Constitution was made. There are provisions of free association, freedom to associate, freedom to speak, freedom to assemble, but if all those freedoms are now no longer available for us, the citizens, then I don't see whether we still have any constitution to call a constitution. Friends, as you may be aware, lawyers came up to say we are taking on this matter, but as up to now, the Honorable Martha Karua's certificate that he asked for has not yet been granted. I would imagine similarly to other lawyers who want to come. What is the meaning of this to us as citizens? These are issues that we should begin pondering about and work harder to defend, because it may happen to Besigye today, when it happens to you tomorrow, there may be no one to speak, or all the other energies will be depleted. So we need to come together in solidarity. We need to support one another at times like this. And then we need also to continue showing our government that they can do better. And that we as citizens will not just look on as they violate our rights, as they manipulate the Constitution, and as they do illegalities in our face. We shall continue to speak, just like the speakers before me mentioned it. There is no amount of intimidation, There is no amount of coercion. There is nothing that is going to stop us from speaking what we believe in as being the right for the people of Uganda. There is nothing that is going to stop us from demanding for justice. There is nothing that will stop us for demanding for good governance. I want to thank you for listening to me, and I want to call upon all of us once again, let us be at court tomorrow. And we continue to make statements to our nation and the government of President Museveni that the capture of institutions will not stop the will of the people to happen. We shall continue fighting, we shall continue mobilizing, we shall continue speaking no matter what. Having said that, I would like to take a singular honor of inviting the Honorable Ken John Luchams, the man. Honorable, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much. Mr. President, sir, I bring greetings from the Conservative Party. I have been told to thank the NUP for organizing a meeting of this magnitude. We in the Conservative Party think that if arrangements of this kind go on, we are capable of collectively fighting the omnipotent dictator. And I think that Honorable Bobi, Honorable Chagulanyi, you have opened a window for the opposition to begin working cautiously, mindful of the dictator. With reference to a case in law known as Human Rights Network versus Attorney General and others, the Constitutional Court ruled that the contents of POMA that was stopping politicians or political parties from holding meetings and demonstrations are null and void. They did not stop there. The court added that as if that was not enough, the contents of Article 92 of the Constitution stop Parliament from passing any other law to replace the one which has been nullified. When the Attorney General says he was appealing against that judgment, he is deceiving himself, because Uganda has already ratified the International Covenant on People's Social, Political, and Economic Rights, meaning that we do not expect the Supreme Court to nullify the laws that we have already signed for as a nation. The time is now for all of us, the political parties in Uganda, to work together and fight that dictatorship. There is nothing that stops us from calling public meetings and demonstrating publicly. Who is doing that? Now, on the matter regarding Dr. Kizza Besigye, thank you very much, honorable members of the political parties, for coming together to respond to the clarion call of NUP. Dr. Kizza Besigye, whom we are remembering today and we are fighting for, is a great fighter for freedom. He has persisted all the years to fight for human rights in Uganda. And nobody can succeed the war of fighting for freedom without persistency. That is why up to now we honor Martin Luther King Jr., we honor Mahatma Gandhi, we honor Nelson Mandela, we honor Benedicto Juan Govaro, because of the record they left in fighting for freedom persistently. I call upon you all to remember the core of persistency, because without persistency you may not cause any impact in this world. When I look at the case which Honorable Lukwago and others are trying to manage, I even laugh, because Honorable Lukwago successfully explained in court, I was there,
After that explanation, I don't see anything like a sub judice rule being applied, because under Article 28, Clause 7 of the Constitution, the charges which were narrated in court do not stand. They do not stand, because unless Uganda wants to annex Kenya, but Kenya is a sovereign state. So when the chairman of the committee said that on the 10th you should come for mentioning what case which does not stand. There's no case standing. Anybody is free to talk about the case now being pleaded. I would like to thank the lawyers, including Martha, who is a fellow conservationist, for endeavoring to protect the rights of a Ugandan. We should feel proud that we have friends across the republic that are capable of coming to our favor when we are in danger. Finally, the president of NUP talked about the anti-corruption day. In Uganda, if we want to effectively fight corruption, we should adopt the federal governance model, the model of a federalism, to empower the regions with the power to fight corruption. You cannot fight corruption when you have no power. The districts are too small to fight corruption, because under federalism, power fights power. Power checks power. You must own power to be able to check power. That is another very important chapter, which at one time I will endeavor to articulate. Those few words, I urge you all, honorable members from the political parties and the parliamentarians, to copy from the experience which has been noted by us through this important gathering, masterminded by NUP. And we thank NUP. We didn't know that you can be so effective as you are now. Let us use this chapter of collectiveness to endeavor to fight so many other wars that are coming in front of us tomorrow. Thank you very much. May I have the honor of inviting Honorable Gaira to speak on behalf of PPP.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kenny. I don't know what I can say after all my colleagues have talked. And I can feel what Honorable Kyagulanyi experiences whenever we are in meetings like this, because he speaks last. But as the saying goes, that he who speaks last or who laughs last laughs best. Let me make 2 points. First of all, I thank the Leader of Opposition and NUP for organizing this event. I want to remind the President of Uganda that in 1980, when he went to the bush, 2 people were arrested by the army. One of them was General Salim Saleh. Your Excellency the President, when your brother was arrested, remember the message you sent to the former Vice President and Minister of Defense, the late Paul Mwanga. Because you were not trusting the courts then, you threatened that if he doesn't release your brother, you are going for him. So you should remember that. The way you felt when your brother was arrested is the way Ugandans are feeling when their children, when their brothers are abducted and are subjected to the court-martial. The second person that I want to remind the President of Uganda was his former Secretary General at the time, Honorable Bidandi Sali. Museveni went to the bush today. The following day, Bidandi Sali was arrested and he was incarcerated in the army barracks for 1 year and 4 months. I want to ask the President of Uganda, when you were in Rushikaire's house discussing about going to the bush or discussing about the way forward after the election, there were two options. You said you will go to the bush, and the Bidandi said, no, let us go and organize the party. Now you decided to go to the bush, the Bidandis decided to do otherwise. They remained here. I want to ask the President, was Bidandi arrested because he was going to overthrow government? Because you know very well that he was objected to that idea, vehemently objected. So are you telling us that that is what is now happening, that you went to fight? So I wanted to say this, maybe our president is no longer recalling what happened then. President, Mr. Museveni, they are correcting me here. The second point I want to make is a clarion call to all Ugandans. As we are sitting here in solidarity against the abduction and consequently the arraigning of Dr. Besigye and his co-accused to the court-martial, what Museveni has succeeded into is to isolate us wherever we are fighting for justice. When I'm being persecuted, Nubi is isolated from me. When borders are being persecuted, the hawkers are in their comfort. When the doctors are being persecuted, the teachers are in their comfort. At no one point, we have come together to fight against injustice as Ugandans. Where are the religious leaders in this? Where are the religious leaders? Where are the academicians? Where are the professionals in this? Where are they? Are they waiting the time when he will go to them and then they call us to come and defend them? In countries where they have fought injustice, the professionals, the religious leaders, the middle class, they all come together to fight this injustice. Until we realize this, and shall keep on. So I call upon all those groups to come forward and join this struggle of fighting the injustice. Otherwise, we shall keep on fighting, and we shall keep on fighting in isolation from one another, and we will never succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our leaders, for the very interesting and very encouraging words that you have shared with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to recognize the presence of the Deputy Lord Mayor, Honorable Nyanjira Doreen, who is amidst us. I also want to recognize the presence of Mr. Wakandonda Wycliffe, the head of the PFF Secretariat. Thank you as well for coming, and I also want to welcome the other members of Parliament that have also currently joined us. Thank you. Right now, I want to invite the Leader of Opposition, Honorable Joel Senyonyi, to come and give us a way forward, and then we can see what to do next. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Flavia. We have pretty much come to the end of this joint press address by leaders of the different opposition political parties and entities. I want to again thank our leaders for coming and for doing this in solidarity. As we wrap up, we are going to sign a joint statement. I'm going to request Council Lewis Ruongoya to come and read to us that statement that is going to be signed by the senior leaders, a joint statement in solidarity with Dr. Kizza Besigye, Haji Obed Kamulegea, and all the other different political prisoners that are being illegally persecuted using the military courts. Kindly read it to us and then we'll sign.
Thank you very much, Lop, and all distinguished leaders. Here is the statement, 9th December 2024. Joint statement on the abduction of Haji Obed Kamulegea from Kenya and the arraignment before the General Court Martial. We, the undersigned leaders of different political parties and formations, do hereby: 1. Condemn the abduction of Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haji Obed Kamulegea from Kenya, a sovereign state, on the 16th of November 2024, in complete violation of domestic, regional, and international laws. 2. Condemn their trial in the military court, which has no jurisdiction to try civilians, and further assert our belief that they cannot get a free and fair trial at the General Court Martial, where the military is the complainant, the prosecutor, and the judge. 3. Demand an end to the trial of civilians in military courts in adherence of numerous rulings by Uganda's Constitutional Court. All cases involving numerous political prisoners and other civilians must be terminated or transferred to civilian courts. 4. Call upon Chief Justice Owiny Dollo and the Supreme Court to rise to the occasion and put a final end to the trial of civilians in military courts and their attendant violations of human rights. 5. Demand that the charges against Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haji Obed Kamulegea are dropped, and if not, that they are swiftly transferred to civilian courts bearing jurisdiction to try the alleged offences. I thank you very much. That is the statement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ruongoya. And now currently we are going to witness the signing of the statement he has just read.
Before you sign it,
yes, please.
we have been consistent. What is the violation of rights? You cannot push it. So I don't know if you are now changing how do you transfer from picture? 2. Take them to the civilian court and do what? If there is no offense committed to be
Thank you. Yeah, so I think the issue that Honorable Sekuna is raising, the senior lawyer, what we have been saying, if the state has got any case to prefer against any of these people, whether it be Dr. Kizza Besigye, whether it be all the different political prisoners, take them to the civilian courts. That's what we are saying. Of course, they normally will run away from the civilian courts because they know it will be a lot harder for them to have a tight grip. People are denied bail in the military courts, which usually might not necessarily be the case with civilian courts. So we are saying these are, if, that's why I'm saying if. Let's not have a back and forth over these colleagues. But that is good counsel that we can keep building on. But the point is, if the state wants to charge any of us over anything, that's okay, because we are not law breakers. So we are not saying don't charge us. The same way we keep saying, if you want to arrest any of us, do it within the law. We are not saying we are impervious to arrest. None of us is above the law. But if you choose to arrest me, don't abduct me in a drone. All right? If you want to prefer any charge against me, take me to the civilian court, not the military court. So that's the issue, really. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We have come to the end. I'm now going to be inviting the different leaders to come and sign this, our joint document. I think they'll do it from here on this podium with ease. I'm hoping the camera people are not disenfranchised in any way. We change the podium. Rom Saddam Gaira is very creative. He's saying, I do this. Okay. Come again. Okay, it's the other view that we have this podium just in the middle. Would you want them to just sign for? Okay, we'll just do it on that table there. Let's have the document. Honorable Chagulanyi, you sign first. You want to stand? Okay. That's it. Robert Chagulanyi signing on behalf of MVP. General Muntu is signing on behalf of ANT. Honorable Saddam Gaira on behalf of PPP. Okay, Honorable Ken Lucham is the man who signed first on behalf of CG. Honorable Saddam Gaira on behalf of PPP. Omulodi Salom Elias Fwago on behalf of PFF. It's a Salom was up to it, so there you are. Behalf of Rema as founding leader. Okay, we can have maybe one or two witnesses. Honorable Wafula Ogutu as one of the witnesses. Former leader of opposition. Honorable Winnie Kiza as another witness.
Only woman.
If it is allowable, all MPs will be signing, but for now, let me sign on behalf of the MPs. Please request colleagues, leaders, let's come for a joint picture. MPs and the other colleague leaders, let's just come at the back for this joint picture.
Wabasembere mabega bano batuule abana babadde
stand behind them. Thank you very much. Let the leaders all take their seats. And the rest of us will follow behind. Thank you.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Believe in my heart, I do believe. We shall overcome someday. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Believe in my heart, I do believe. We shall overcome someday.
Thank you very much. I am going to request the leader of opposition to do a Uganda version. Honorable colleagues, kindly calm down. I am going to request the leader of opposition to lead the entire leadership of the opposition the way they were, to give us a Uganda version of some of the things they were saying. Tugenda kusaba leader of opposition akulembere mu tiimu nga bwakikulembedde okuwa bannamawulire enkulire mu Luganda.
Okay, thank you guys for following. Never knew about Mbade Mugoberera Mbere Badano Parliament. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, the Prince President Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu, ng'akulembeddwamu the leader of opposition, the Right Honourable Joel Ssenyu, abakulembeze okuva mu bibiina eby'enjawulo ebiri ku ludda oluvuganya gavumenti, ababaka ba Parliament saako n'abo abakkiriza mu nkyukakyuka olunaku lwaleero baziwamu okulaba nti bassa omukono ku kiwandiiko ekivumirira enkola ey'amagye okweyambisa omukisa okuvunaana abantu ba bulijjo emisango nga bakulembeza omusango Dr. Kizza Besigye yawambibwa mu ggwanga erya Kenya mpaka olunaku olwaleero. So ekiwandiiko kino bakitaddeko omukono basaba ebintu bino biyimirizibwe bunambiro abantu bonna era nga bwolaba ebibiina ebimu ebitalabiseeko ekibiina kya UPC siwuliddeeko ani akikiikiridde, ekibiina kya NID siwuliddeko ani akikiikiridde, ekibiina kya FDC Nsibambi mulabyeko, ekibiina kya DP siwuliddeyo n'omu akikiikiridde, saako n'ebirala bye mbasijjukira naye abakulembeze abasinga babaddewo abali ku government. Muzikirize komera wano, may God bless you. Tugendeko mu Luganda tusooke tule biki ate abakulu tebagenda okubanga
obwedda bakutumira ku live wano.
Omwami omugende wano waliwo olwogi gwe musajja nze sifa naawe genda ne bakyala bo.
Okay, banaye mu tutabe twogeremu ku Uganda, because we need a national language, but we'll do that very briefly for you. I'll just give a quick preamble mu Uganda, then abakulembeze baffe nabo buli omulayini, something good mu Uganda kubanga bannamawulire mubadde mutabuzi namwagala version yeyo. Simanyi lwaki temutusaba Lunyankole, temutusaba Lukyoli kubanga lwonna tulumanyi wano ennimi ezo zonna. Okay, tusinkanye olwaleero n'abakulembeze b'ebibiina byaffe ne groups ez'enjawulo eza opposition. Ffenna nga twagala okubeera n'eddoboozi ery'omwanguka mu nsonga ez'enkizo. Tutandise tujjukize eggwanga nti olunaku olwaleero luyitibwa International Anti-Corruption Day. Ensi yonna nga yeegatta okuvumirira enguzi. Kino kyayisibwa mu 2003, kyayisibwa United Nations era yali Convention Against Corruption mu 2003. So nga bwetujjukira olunaku luno lwa International Anti-Corruption Day, tuvumirira enguzi, obulyake, kubanga bitusibidde eddala emabega ng'eggwanga. Malwaliro teri ddagala, enguudo ziri bubi, amasomero gali mu mbeera mbi, service delivery obuweereza bwonna bwayonooneka olw'enguzi. So nga tugamba nti tulina okwegatta ffenna nga bannansi, eggwanga lyaffe lulibanga lyakutereera, enguzi tulina okugirwanyisa, era nga ffenna ab'opposition twogeza eddoboozi limu kulwanyisa enguzi. Ate nga tugamba nti bwe tulwanyisa enguzi mu bannaffe abali mu gavumenti, naffe ab'opposition tulina okubeera nga tuli beerufu, engalo zaffe zirina okuba nga si nkyafu, awo tubeere n'obusobozi obuvumirira enguzi, naye nga buno obuvunaanyizibwa bwaffe ffenna nga bannansi. Ensonga enkizo etuleese wano era nga twebaza abakulembeze baffe ab'ebibiina ne groups ez'enjawulo mu opposition okujja ffe wano just tubadde bakyaza naye nga omulamu omukulu babakulembeze baffe bano ab'enjawulo. Okulembeze munnaffe mu opposition era senior Dr. Kizza Besigye yawambibwa gavumenti ya wano e Uganda, bamuwamba okuva e Kenya mu ngeri y'obumenyi bw'amateeka ne Hajjo Lugabe kamulegeya ne bakubibwa wano mu mbuga za military court y'amagye. Tugamba nti kino ffe nga ab'opposition era abakulembeze baffe abatukulembera tukiwakanya, tukivumirira kubanga kimenya amateeka. Constitutional court ez'ekirambika emirundi egiwera, bannansi abatali bannamagye balina bw'aba alina omusango gwonna gw'oteebereza nti yazizza tutwale mu kkooti eza bulijjo si ez'amagye era nga tukyalemeddeko ku nsonga eno. Kkooti y'amagye bagikozesa nnyo okutulugunya bannabyabufuzi abatawakanya gavumenti. Muzze mulaba bangi abawakanya gavumenti eno, ab'oppositioni, abaana ab'enjawulo nti ono ayambadde ekifaananyi t-shirt eriko ekifaananyi ky'omukulembeze w'opposition ono tawagira gavumenti eriko, bazze babawamba nga tuva mu kalulu, bangi bakyali mu makomera, kati batandise n'okukikola ku bakulembeze ab'enjawulo. So tugamba nti baagala otwawulamu nti bakwate omu bagende mwabala mukole ebyammwe, nedda ffe tugamba nti bw'okwata omu ku ffe ffenna oba otukutteko abakulembeze baffe kyekibaleese wano okukkaatiriza ensonga eyo nga tukivumirira ekyokutulugunya Dr. Kizza Besigye mu mbeera eyo, era nga tugamba nti Dr. Kizza Besigye, Hajji Obed Kamulegeya ne bannaffe abalala bonna basapoota bammemba opposition abatulugunyizibwa mu kkooti z'amagye bazibu bomba muteebereza nti bazize emisango gyonna nga kkooti bwe yagamba batwale mu kkooti eza bulijjo. Bano si bannamagye, y'ensonga abakulembeze baffe gye baliko, era tugamba nti ffe nga ab'opposition tujja sigala nga tukwatira wamu ku nsonga zino ebitufaananya bye bisinga ebyo bitwawula. Yes, tulina ebibiina ebyenjawulo, groups ez'enjawulo, ekyo kiryoke politikale, naye ebitunyigiriza ate byebimu. Uganda empya, Uganda eyeeyagaliza buli munnansi gye twagala ffenna tugyetaaga nga opposition, abakulembeze baffe bano ab'oku ntiko, ensonga gye baliko era ebaleese ku lunaku olwaleero. Era abakulembeze baffe batadde omukono ku kiwandiiko ekikulu nga kusookera ddala bavumirira ekyokutulugunya Dr. Kizza Besigye, Hajji Obed Kamulegeya ne bannayuganda abalala abatali bannamagye mu court martial military courts, era batadde emikono ku kiwandiiko kino ekivumirira, era nga tugamba nti bunnambiro emisango gino era bagidropinge bagisuule, oba baba bateebereza nti abantu bano bazizza omusango gwonna batwale mu kkooti eza bulijjo, kubanga bano si bannamagye. Era twebaza abakulembeze baffe bano ab'oku ntikko olw'okuteeka omukono ku kiwandiiko. Tujja kukolera wamu ku nsonga ezitunyigiriza n'ensonga ezinyigiriza bannansi. So kyekituleese n'abakulembeze baffe bano, ngenda basaba bogereyo buli omu maybe sentence oba ki, muwulire amaloboozi gaabwe mu Luganda. Kasita tubabuulidde lwaki tubakyaziza, era nga tubeebaza beebale kujja ku nsonga eno enkulu. Ssebo ow'ekitiibwa kyange. Baba weebale ino, weebalire erala ngalo bwako benze na nendo because batugambye Uganda. Yeah, very briefly nange njagala okukanya leader of opposition Right Honorable Senyenyi kyayogeddeko tukunganye wano abakulembeze mu bibiina ne groups ez'enjawulo okugatta eddoboozi lyaffe okuvumirira obuswavu gavumenti ya Mwai Museveni bwe yatuusa ku Uganda okusomoka ne bagenda e Kenya ne bawamba Dr. Kizza Besigye ne Hajji Obed Kamulegeya ne bajja ne babasimba mu kkooti ey'amagye. Ekyo nno kya bumenyi bw'amateeka, si basirikale, tukivumirira, naye nga Katonda bw'aleeta ekirungi wakati mu kibi, kino kyongere okulaga okunyigirizibwa kwa bannayuganda abatali basirikale nga basimbibwa mu kkooti ey'amagye, nga tetunayingira mu kalulu ka 2021 nga tukalimu ne we twakaviiramu. Bannaffe abasukka 2,000 bawambibwa, bangi ne basimbibwa mu kkooti z'amagye okwetoolola eggwanga lyonna, kyetuvumirira. Lunaku lwaleero njagadde kikube n'ettaala mu mbeera y'abannayuganda abalala batali na bannabyabufuzi, naye nga mu ngeri ekyeyononere batwalirangwanko mu kkooti ey'amagye yafuuka nga ttundu ekozesa okunyigiriza abantu. Owakanye n'omuntu mukayanira mukazi, mukayanira ttaka, bw'aba alina connections bajja kuteeka mu kkooti y'amagye ovundire mu kkomera. Ekyo tukivumirira nga twongera okubanja Dr. Kizza Besigye ne munne Ajobedi Kamulegeya babajje mu kkooti y'amagye kubasiba n'amagye mu ddoboozi lyerimu nga tubanja abasibe bonna ba political prisoners abatali basirikale abawozesebwa mu kkooti y'amagye babajje mu kkooti y'amagye babayimbule bwe babayina emisango babatwale mu kkooti ez'abantu ababulijjo babavunaanibwe. Njagala okubaza the opposition olw'okutukyaza ne bakulembeze bannange bwe banayogerezo mwebalire ddala.
There was a leader of opposition, the members of our parliament. What one is unfortunate our parliament. Ate n'abakulembeze bonna ab'ebibiina ebya opposition. Okujja wano okwemirira ne Dr. Kizza Besigye ne Haji Bobi Lutale olw'okuwambibwa ku musango gwe babataddeko nga bamaze okubawamba e Kenya ne babateeka mu kkooti y'amagye ekitasaanidde okuba kubanga abantu ba bulijjo. Ekyokubiri, ekintu kino abali mu gavumenti basaanidde okukirowoozaako nnyo okusingira kimu ddala ababali ku ntikko kubanga nzijukira mu mwaka gwa 82 nga tukyalwana nga tulina abakulembeze abaali e Nairobi. Gavumenti yaliwo obudde obwo baawanga eyaliko minisita Muzeeyi Barak Kiria ne bamujja e Nairobi ne bamuwamba nga kati Dr. Kizza Besigye engeri gy'awambiddwamu ne bamuleeta wano Luzira. Era ndowooza yamalayo emyaka gyonna okutuusa Lukwago yakwata gavumenti. Abaali ku kakiiko ketwalina external committee abaali e Nairobi bona badduka buddusi. Honorable Mbabazi eyaliko prime minister yaddukira Sweden. Honorable Rugunda eyali ku kakiiko ako n'addukira Sweden. N'abakulembeze abalala bonna badduka ne basaasaana. Era abakulembeze olwo General Museveni ye kennyini yakivumirira nnyo. Kati okuddamu okukola ebyo ebintu byennyini ebyakolebwako nga tebayizze, tebalina kibategeera, tekuliiko advance yona ekoleddwa, ekyo kyekisooka. Ekyokubiri, engeri abduction eno engeri gyekoleddwamu kiraga nti abo abali ku ntikko ebitongole ebikuuma eddembe kintu kyakweraliikiriza kubanga bw'owamba omuntu gw'omumanyi nti yali agenda kudda kubanga bakimanyi Dr. Kizza Besigye mingi wano mu Uganda, naye okukola ekintu ekitali kya bulijjo ne bamuwambira e Kenya ate nga bamanyi nti yali wakudda, kintu kyakweraliikiriza. Lwaki? Kubanga kiraga nti abo abakulembera ebitongole ebikuuma eddembe n'abo ebaripootingira simanyi oba General Museveni akimanyi oba takimanyi, babanga balina okutya tetumanyi ki ekibatiisa, oba abo abakulembeze ebitongole tebamanyi kye bakola, oba tebakyafaayo ku kifaananyi kya gavumenti yaabwe, tebakyalina image gye baprotectinga kwegamba bagamba nti katukikole kubanga tekuliko twayonooneka dda tetukyalina
kyetutaasa
ekikyo kiki kubanga siraba engeri yonna endala abantu abali ku ntiko y'ebitongole by'okwerinda okola ekintu kyekika kino kati owulira lawyers kati bavudde Kenya bava Angola bava Nigeria n'awalala wonna ku lw'ekintu ekyo ekyokuwamba abakulembeze okubajja e Kenya okubaleetawo. Ekirala batadde Kenya mu katu n'alabyeko ndowooza wa permanent secretary wa foreign affairs ng'agezaako okunyonyola nga babuuzizza kubanga Kenya mu parliament babuuza okulembeza aba political leaders abala babuuza ng'agezaako okunyonyola naye ng'olaba nti talina kyakwogera. Kati obona omuliraanwawo n'akola ekintu mu ngeri gye bakikozeemu n'abateeka mu problem gye balimu kubanga problem Kenya wantu we tubadde ffena nga tutambula nga twetaaya nga tetulina kutya kwonna. N'olwekyo kati engeri gye balabikamu kati kintu ekijja kutiisa abantu ffenna abali mu region eno. N'olwekyo ndowooza ab'e Kenya basaanidde okuvaayo obulungi ne bannyonnyolawo obulungi bwe tuba nga tetujja kusigala nga tulina okutya bwe tuba nga tugenda wa e Nairobi. Nga ekisembayo ntera kukyogerako nnyo. Tomanya oluusi wasobola okuvaayo abo abali mu gavumenti oluusi abeebase abasobola okuzuukuka. Kubanga bw'obeera mu gavumenti manya nti waliko ekiseera ky'onoogivaamu n'obeera ku lulwo. Kati engeri gy'okolamu ebintu ng'oli mu gavumenti kizimba culture. Kati bw'ozimba culture ey'ekika kino enkya bw'oba nga tokyali mu gavumenti baagala tubayise tutya. How do they want us to treat them? Kintu kye bateeka okulowoozaako kubanga ffenna tuli mu ggwanga limu tulina obutategeeragana mu politics naye wasaanidde okubaawo owa enki elayini ky'omanyi nti eno tetukibuuka etteeka lino tetulimenya kubanga bw'olimenya olwaleero n'okola kyonna ky'oyagala okukola kubanga olowooza nti oli mu gavumenti. Olunaku lw'ova mu gavumenti oba nga tokyalina ekikola ekikukuuma kubanga tokyalina mungu abawadde bakukuuma abo abali mu gavumenti nabo banga baagala kukola nga byokola abo be bakukwata bennyini. Kintu kya okulabira kumpi. N'olwekyo tubasaba abali ku ntiko waliko olunaku lwajja kubanga tebakyali mu gavumenti ekyo bakimanye. Wajja enkuba wagwa omusana wajja ekibuyaga oluvannyuma lwa byonna gavumenti zonna zikola ki zikyuka. Bakirowoozeeko ekintu ekyo nnyo nnyo nnyo. Ne bwe tuba nga tulina obutategeereka naye eggwanga kisigala nga lisitya gurupu endala n'eba eyingidde etambuza eggwanga bulungi n'abo abatutulugunya kati amanye nti bw'aba akoze ensobi bagenda kumutwala mu kooti oba mu mbuga z'amateeka eziri civil courts mu Uganda zimanyiwe zitya kooti ez'abantu ba bulijjo. Ekyo muba nga tebakitegeera balina ekizibu mu ndowooza yaabwe ne mu mitwe gyabwe.
ku lwange kwebaza ba principal b'ebibiina byonna civil principal Honorable Kyagulanyi General Muntu n'abalala mwenna ne host waffe wano leader of opposition olw'enteekateeka eno ey'okuba nti tuli wamu kitole okwerwanako nga tukwataganye nga tuluse olujegere era nga nkakasa nti nga tuluse olujegere luno nga bwe tululuse olwaleero tusobola okutaayiza abasajja bano ne tubabuzaako enkyusizo kubanga General Court Martial eyo bagitaddewo okumala ebbanga ezzeekula naye ng'olutalo tululwanidde ku sayidi ya mateeka mwe tutuwakanyiriza kooti etaputa ssemateeka neevaayo n'egamba nti eyo terina buyinza bukozesa abasiviriani ne baginafuya yakakisalawo emirundi egyo 3 omanyi kooti okukiddingana emirundi 3 ogwa Uganda Law Society ogwa Kamazibuluka ne Amoni Byalugaba naye njagala okubategeeza ogwasembeeyo ogwa Amoni Byalugaba gwa 2022 tewaliwo na kujulira bwe baajuliramu gwokka gwa Kamazibuluka guno gwe baajulira ne bafunamu interim order gwali gwa Kamazibuluka naye guno gwa Amoni Byalugaba tebaajulira gwa 2022 kooti bwegenda kulonda agenda aggala ekkooti y'amagye nti yo emala kooti okulangirira nti eyemenya amateeka n'esigala ng'ekyagamenya bwe guba musango gwa bulijjo gwa ttaka kooti egamba bailiff tukuwadde waranti genda ogyewo yalemeddewo bagamba gwe citizen bw'otakikola gwe kennyini obuziiza omusango gwe bayita treason oba olidde mu nsi yo olukwe omulimu gwe tukolako olwaleero nga tukwataganye tuluse obujegere gwegwo gwennyini ssemateeka gwatuteekako ekisigadde kwe kuba oluvannyuma lwa declaration eno era kwe kugenda mu maaso n'enteekateeka eddako ey'okulaba nti tuteeka mu nkola ekyokuggalawo ki General Court Martial yadde nga ne Winyiddolo alina obuvunaanyizibwa obwa apiiru gye baateekayo mu gwakabazibuluka naye guno ogwa Lieutenant Kano yali Lieutenant Kano Amoni Byalugaba mugutunuulire teguliiko apiiru yonna ate bagamba nti emisango gyonna kasa gibanga giri mu Penal Code giri mu Firearms Act giri mu mateeka gano amalala General Court Martial tegirinaako buyinza erina buyinza bujyayo naye obuyinza bwe beewaŋŋamyeko bunene akawaayiro ako namba 228 mwe bavunaanidde Besigye Nobed gye bagamba nti prejudice to national security and defense bagamba nti singa gukukka mu V you are liable to suffer death nti basobola okutwala kalabba njagala tukubemu akafaananyi nga Freeman Mugabe oyo atasomangako mateeka nga yasalidde Dr. Besigye ogw'okugenda ku kalabba ekyo kibayita travesty of justice mockery of justice ebola mockery of justice ffenna ekitukakatako okugirwanyisa so ndi musanyufu nnyo nti tulusa akajegere ng'abakulembeze ekisigadde bannayuganda ffenna kukwataganira wamu embeera eno tugirwaneko bw'olaba akukaabirako nga naawe oyongera bangi bavudde ebweru bazze Martha Karua yali wano wiiki ewedde olwaleero akomyewo atonnye mu Uganda Emilian afudde Angola naye atonnye wano Nigeria waliyo abajja bano bonna betwogerako ba senior council South Africa luddawa bonna bajja bayiika wano bagamba okufa n'obutanyagwa tugenda kufaafaagana ne General Court Martial waliwo issues ezikyali mu law council zisaagala kwongerako kati ttiimu y'abaloya era ekuŋŋaanye gyendaga kati tugenda kuzanjula emiziziko egikyali awo n'ebirala naye njagala okubasaba nti eri legal team nga bweyongeramu giya kuba kati ekigenda mu maaso giya kwongeramu namba emu keno ke kaseera okwongeramu namba emu okulaba nga tufaafaagana ne general court marshal otherwise ejja tukola bino byonna byejjeekola abantu etuuke ku mbeera ng'erina kuvunamya ebakole ekofujjo lyonna lye bakola ki lye baagala. Sebo Honorable Kyagulanyi kankugamba ekintu kye baakoze Olivia Lutaya ne banne mwenna abali wano bwe banaakibakolako mujja kumanya implication ffenna abaliwo. Nze 2011 baali baŋŋaanye okwesimbawo era ne bagenda mu electoral commission ega bagenda kumpandukulula ndi convict nti general court marshal yakusingisa omusango ate bamala okusingisa omusango tokkirizibwa okwesimbawo okumala emyaka 7 ate gyali teginnayitawo. Nalina kuguluba nempita mu mbeera enzibu mukulu Amos tulina omuzuni mukama omumuuza emirembe n'akola judgment ennungi nga nzikiriza okwesimbawo n'agamba bwe ntunuulira mu mateeka agafuga ssemateeka mu kooti zaffe sirabamu general court marshal eyo bwebanga yaddiiringa ne Lukwago nga ow'amagye ebyo byeyo mu magye naye Lukwago mu mateeka g'eggwanga si convict n'embitirawa naye Amos yafa wali Amos tulomishoni yafa ne Museveni ate akyaliwa nakyatuliisa akakambi. So kino tetukikolera Besigye yekka tulina okukyekolera ffenna kubanga enkya Olivia Lutaya bwaga nti nakwesimbako ero C1 namugamba nti oli convict bakunyigirira convict tojja kwesimbawo kati bajja kubitukola babitukole embeera paka lwe banaatunyigiriza nga ssemateeka takyalina bwatutaasiriza. So ke kaseera tufunvubire era mbeebaza olwakajegere kano ketuluse.
President ngenda kubeera mumpi nnyo naye kirungi mumpulirize. Njagala okuleeta okulamusa okudde eri ekibiina ky'enkulembera ekya Conservative Party. Kintumye okusooka okwebaza ennyo ekibiina ekya NUP leadership mwebale nnyo okutulaga timusobola okutukulembera era ne baŋŋamba nti nno okusinziira ku biri mu ddiiro ekiseera kituuse twekumeekume tulwanire wamu. Ne bagamba nti no for example ebiina by'obufuzi kaakati tebikkirizibwa kuba nkuŋŋaana tebikkirizibwa kwekalakaasa ng'ate constitutional court yakamala okusalawo ng'egamba nti poliisi terina buyinza kuziyiza muntu yenna kwekalakaasa oba okuba olukiiko kasi tetegeezebwako. Ate era nga constitutional court neeyongerako ng'egamba nti as if that was not enough, article 92 egamba parliament tekkirizibwenga kusaawo tteeka ddala lizzaawo liri eribadde nullified. Kitegeeza ab'ebibiina muli free ng'endogoyi. Ekyo kiba kitegeeza nti ssebo Mr. President otima Kyagulanyi kiseera kituuse mwe nga baliida baffe mu parliament mukulembere omumuli ogututuusa okukolera awamu. Nindiridde olumu era nga tuli ready muyite olukiiko olwa bonna mu Kampala public rally ebibiina byonna nga weebiri tubalaga ekye tuli mu nsi eno. Ekintu ekirala ate nga nakyo kikulu ssebo yogedde ku buli bw'enguzi mu sekendi ngamba bwe nti Uganda lyemu ku mawanga amali g'enguzi kayingo. Bwe tuba nga tunaalwanyisa obuli bw'enguzi twetaaga okukyusa ku governance, twetaaga enfuga ya federo ewa ebitundu ebinene obuyinza okulwanyisa obw'enguzi. Kalangala district tesobola kulwanyisa State House nguzi nti erwanyise obuli bw'enguzi mu State House. Acholi esobola, Buganda esobola, Busoga esobola. Kitegeeza you need some autonomy to muscle out the dictator and the corrupt people. Nekisemberayo ddala ate nga kikulu. Natunuulidde ekigambo kino ekya Dr. Kizza Besigye. Bannayuganda mwenna naddala ebibiina by'obufuzi ebiri wano mwebale kuvaayo mulwanire omwana wa Uganda oyo. Dr. Kizza Besigye tumufiiriddeko ku bigambo bino ebiriwo ng'ali mu kkomera lwa nsonga nti myaka 2 alemedde ku nsonga y'okulwanira eddembe ly'Abannayuganda persistently teri asobola kulwana n'awakutalo lwa kulwanira eddembe ly'obuntu teri asobola kuwangula kulwanirira eddembe lyabwe nga talemera ku nsonga. Ensonga lwaki up now after so many years abantu nga Martin Luther King Jr, Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi bakyali ku mimwa gy'abantu kubanga balina chapter emera ku nsonga. Ekizemerayo ddala kyendowooza nga nakyo kituanya kunebasi. Nze mbadde ndowooza nti ssebo Pulezidenti Kyagulanyi kyotulaze ffe ng'ab'ebibiina tukisiimye nnyo. Era nsaba mu maaso wonna gulawo oluggi lw'okukolagana naffe awamu tufunewo ebimu ebitugatta naddala nga tuli migwa gya Museveni. Otherwise Museveni mulwanyisa ng'oli single-handed, you cannot go there. Njagala okuwoninga President Museveni nti the time is now ategeere nti eggwanga lino si lirye. Bannayuganda baddembe okwekalakaasa nga bawakanya enfuga bbi eri omnipotent dictator.
Aziza natuddewa Honorable Saddam Gaira bade manyi Honorable Kyamuza ajja twogereramu ku Lupicha naye kale
nange nja kwegatta ku bannange okwogera ensonga 2 zokka. Esooka yeya okukubiriza abakulembeze b'amadini nti wadde nga ffe abali mu bibiina by'obufuzi tugatta okulwanirira eddembe naye abakulembeze baffe ab'enzikiriza baliriddawa kubanga bano we bakwata abagoberezi baabwe. Ba academicians baliriddawa bagamba nti bino tebibakwatako. Ba professionals baliriddawa bagamba nti bino tebibakwatako bya bannabyabufuzi. Ba middle class baliriddawa bali middle class bali mu maduuka gaabwe bagamba nti bino tebibakwatako. Bannamawulire nga muggyeko okuripootinga bino tebibakwatako. So njagala kukubiriza bannayuganda nti bino okulwanirira eddembe ly'obuntu mu mawanga gye babulwaniridde abantu bonna ab'ebiti ebyenjawulo beegattawamu okulwanyisa dictator. Ebyobufuzi babirekera bannabyabufuzi nga waliwo political sanity. Babirekera bannabyabufuzi nga waliwo political sanity. Naye nga waliwo dictatorship buli kategori y'abantu mu nsi eteekwa okubibaamu. Akasembayo kakujukiza Pulezidenti Museveni nti baakwata muganda wo. Bwe baamukwata jjukira ebigambo bye wagamba Paul Muwanga. Omanye kye wafiiringa ne bano b'okwata abantu baabwe kye bafiiringa. Ekyokubiri ekyo wabyogera nga tokakasa kooti bwe bagenda kumutwala. Era jjukira bwe wagenda mu nsiko leero enkya ne bakwata Muzeebitandise ne bamusiba omwaka gumu n'emyezi 4 mu military prison. Kyokka ng'ate bw'ali ogenda mu nsiko ye teyakuwagira. Era jjukira nti wasindikako n'abantu bagende mu kkomera bamubbeyo. Ebyo byonna byali biraga tiwali tewekakasa kooti ze bamutwalamu. Kakati gwe lwaki olowooza nti abantu bagenda kwekakasa court martial n'otwala abaana b'abantu? N'olwekyo nja kwebaza National Unity Platform nga bannange okutuleeta together okuyimirira awamu n'okugera okukikumiza bwe tunaabeera nga tulowooza nti webakwata ku ono tebinkwatako President Museveni kyayagala okutwa isolatinga from one another. Mwebale.
Tuze wano olwaleero okulaga eggwanga tife nga beebibiina ebyenjawulo twegasse okuvuumirira sekuvuumirira ekikolwa ekikoleddwa ku Dr. Kizza Besigye ne Abedi Kamulege ya Lutale ekyobuswavu ennyo eri abakulembeze b'eggwanga lino. Tukivumirira kubanga tumanye tekiri mu mateeka tekityobola eddembe eri abantu. Bannayuganda mwenna gye muli temulowooza nti bino ebigenda mu maaso tebibakwatako ne mulowooza nti ebyo bya Dr. Kizza Besigye oba by'abanabufuzi. Ekikoleddwa ku bannaffe bano kiyinza kukolebwa ku muntu yenna. Bw'olaba nti kati buli omu aba atali mu NRM bamulaba ng'omulabe, bw'ona gy'oli toyina mirembe kubanga tomanyi ddi bw'oliba nga tokyalina President Museveni. Zijjukira lwe twali mu palamenti nga bayisawo etteeka lya Public Management Act. Amama Mbabazi yagamba nti ye talaba lwaki tukuba enduulu mu palamenti fe abali ku ludda olwali luwakanya by then ye nga lowooza nti ebijja mukwatako. Twamugamba ssebo etteeka lisewo omanyi nti naawe luliba lumu liri kukwata ate tekyatwala na mwaka Amama Mbabazi bamukwata under public order management. Kati bino ebigenda mu maaso n'abo abali mu gavumenti mwalibadde mukivuumirira kubanga engeri gye muyisamu bannammwe wadde mubalaba nti bo tebali mu gavumenti nammwe luliba lumu ne bibatuukako. Musirike naffe olwammwe lulituuka naffe ne tusirika. Naye ngaffe abali mu bibiina by'enjawulo tetwagala kusirika kubanga tukimanyi nti an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. Tujja genda mu maaso n'okukivuumirira ate tujja genda mu maaso kozesa amaanyi gonna ge tulina okwogera okulwana era n'okwegatta okulaba ntulwanyisa enfuga embi eri mu ggwanga yaffe. Tusaba Mukama atukwatireko eggwanga lyaffe tulituusaawo we tulaba nti wewasanidde Abannayuganda kubeera tweyagale mu Uganda empya. Mukama.
Thank you very much, all our dear leaders of the different political parties. And with that, we've come to the conclusion of this press conference. Thank you very much all for coming. Thank you, the media. God bless you for good and like that.
Thanks.
So come on.